Sure, that's it.
That's the right one.
Yeah.
What are we doing again?
You know.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Alter Ego Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Austin. With me, as always, is this cyborg.
Hello, Fresh. I'm trying to get a sponsored ad going, so.
Hello, Fresh?
Yes.
Hey, you don't shout them out till they actually give us money.
Yeah. 100%. You just gave them free marketing.
No. You got to drop the seeds in there.
Ryan,
those
who are you?
68 people in Sweden are going to be buying.
Who are you fishing for, Ryan?
Who am I fishing for?
Yeah.
What corporate plug can you put in right now?
Let's see.
Bullets.
We're not sponsored by
This episode is brought to you by
anybody.
Actually, I was going to... CZ, if you guys are out there, I really want a scorpion. Let's make that happen.
Wow.
Okay. Like a little baby scorpion, or what are you thinking?
I wouldn't mind the short barrel. Nice little 6 incher, 7 incher.
What size cage are you going to put it in?
Did you know that if you pour alcohol on a scorpion, it will sting itself to death?
Did not
Really?
know that.
True story.
How'd you find that out?
The dangerous place of the interwebs. And I was like, we're not sponsored by anybody. And you guys kept talking. And I was going to say, except
We stepped all over your segue.
by Ford Supply Company. I understand this is the last episode they're going to be sponsoring us. So let me read the hell out of this. Ford Supply Company. This episode of Alter Ego is sponsored by Forge Supply Company, makers of all natural and organic soaps for men, with scents like tropical teakwood, citrus IPA, and cypress pine. Visit their website at forgesupply.com to order online and use promo code ALTEREGO to get 10% off your order. Forge Soap. Real soap. No bullshit.
Oh. Wow, that was dramatic.
Yeah.
I
Put
like
a little mustard on that. Hold on a second. I just got a text message.
Is it from your wife?
Nope.
Oh.
It's from the CEO of Ford Supply.
Oh, no.
He said, I read that so beautifully that it brought him to tears, and he's willing to continue sponsoring us until at least next week.
Wow.
What an amazing turn of events.
I didn't realize we were live streaming now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're not.
Just to him?
We're not.
It's enough of a shit show without it.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's celebrate.
What should we celebrate with?
Little Tony and Nellos. It's not as good of a segue when you lean into it.
Sorry. I'll just... What?
Well, I don't know. What should we celebrate with?
Pasta.
Tony and Nello's Southern Italian Cuisine and Grill's a hidden gem that's family-owned and operated on the outskirts of St. Petersburg at 1136 Pinellas Bayway, South Tierra Verde, Florida. It's a must-try for a homemade Italian lunch or dinner. Just remember to bring your appetite because the portions are very generous. Call for a res today at 727-867-3577 and check out tonyandnellos.edu.
Yum.
Or .com. How are you guys doing?
I'm great.
Happy recording week, which for me is every day.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, boy. Well, it's recording day.
Well, somebody wanted to
Again.
have 4 podcasts.
That's right. That's right. I do.
You
Crazy person.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. Please go check out Seven Lamb Podcast as well. I'll give them a little free shout out. I'll give myself a little free shout out.
You know what I started today?
You make that Robert Lamb pay.
What's that?
I started Tower 4 today.
Oh, really?
Very excited about it. I made it halfway through the first episode on my way here.
Okay, so that is a show that I star in as Mike Archer. I am a fire watcher in the Wyoming woods, and it gets crazy. It's a suspense show. A lot of people really like that one. We also have End of All Hope. We have Paralyzed. We have Atlas Avenue Beat, and U2's favorite, Cop Doctors. In which you guys have guest starred on. Which I love.
And maybe guest starring again.
You're going to be recurring roles in our worst show. It's our worst show, but so many people love it.
Show.
Yeah, okay. It depends on who you are, because there are some rabid fans of Cop Doctors that email us all the time, and they're like, when is Cop Doctors coming back? Don't say anything but a release date, please.
Yep.
See, I was pretty deep into Paralyzed, but that show is a legacy. Like it's been going for a while. So no matter how much I listened to it, and I was starting to miss stuff, so I got aggravated and I had to go back and re-listen to things because I was doing it while working. So I'm like, all right, I'm forever away from being caught up to this. So I'm going to continue listening to this, but I'm also going to listen to Tower 4 because that's a new series.
Yeah, and it's shorter.
One season so far, so I can just hop in and get all caught up.
The beautiful thing about Tower 4 is that it's, I think, 3 actors. And so I am the lion's share of the dialogue on that one, which makes it really easy for us to edit and put out because we're not editing dialogue between 8 different people or anything crazy. So that one has received a lot of love, and we are actually working on season 2 now.
And can't wait to sell the movie rights.
I know. People tell us all the time, have you played the game Firewatch? We're like, no.
When you say that and talked about it, that's exactly what I thought of it.
I've never even heard of that game until we did this podcast.
I'm like, it's legit
it.
Sounds just like the concept of Firewatch, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
When that Sandra Bullock movie came out, was her in a fire tower last year?
What?
It wasn't Sandra Bullock. It was
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie. I sent Rob the trailer just to ruin his day because it was pre-Tower 4.
No,
it was
wasn't.
like 2 weeks before it came out. Wasn't it?
No,
or maybe
it wasn't.
right after it came out?
It came out long after we had been releasing that show, but probably before an episode, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, that one's been out for a while now. But
it's not good.
I'm glad you're listening to it. I hope you enjoy it.
Me too.
You all out there in podcast land, please go and check it out.
Everybody
download it, listen to it. Tell me how much you hate it. So let's jump right into the news. We're talking about a lot of things today. DC has some decent stuff. TV and movie news is good. Marvel's the heavy hitter this week again.
I think.
And obviously we're reviewing Black Widow.
Obs, you saw the title when you downloaded it.
That's right. You've seen it?
Oh yeah.
And you've seen it?
Yes, sir. Saw it last night.
Very good.
As much as I'm excited about the news, I kind of want to blast through it just so I can talk about Black Widow.
I know, because you got to roll. But
So let's go.
I'm
Bullet
excited.
points.
Let's go. All right, gaming news. Let me pull some stuff up so I can reference it as we talk.
Okay.
First thing, Final Fantasy, I think it's 14 or 15. FFXIV. My Roman numerals
14.
are not
It's
as great
14.
as they used to be. 14.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's too many.
The game was so popular that for a moment Square Enix had to stop selling it.
Huh?
Because so many people were getting on and playing. That sounds silly to say that, right? And everybody was like, what? Wait, you're so successful, you stopped selling your game? But they were overloading the servers and heating them up and getting performance issues. So they're like, stop selling this game so people stop getting on there until we can upgrade our servers, do the maintenance that we need to do to service the community and the way this game is blowing up. And then we'll start selling it again, which it is now at the time you're listening to this back for sale.
How were they not ready for that?
Well,
I
It's
don't
Final
know.
Fantasy.
That is really bad on whoever it is.
Well, the game is several years old, first off, and it's also only on PC, and I think actually now PlayStation. So
okay.
years later, it started to get popular. It's also, I believe, it's a subscription-based game too, like WoW and
Yuck.
stuff. So you have to pay for it every. So,
WoW is amazing. If WoW was on Xbox, that's all I'd play.
I bet.
Why is it not?
Because it's too big of a game to service.
Wonder if that Series X can handle that bad boy though.
I think it could. I think the PS5 could handle it.
Hey, Blizzard.
But I think there
Let's
you go. I think it's Blizzard not wanting to pull the trigger and not wanting to develop or put so many people to it. Because at this point, there's so many expansions to that game that it's huge.
Didn't Microsoft buy Blizzard recently?
No.
Who'd they buy?
Microsoft bought
Bethesda.
Bethesda.
Yeah.
The other B.
Yeah. Here's kind of a little double gaming and going into TV. Netflix says it's planning to offer video games on its streaming platform soon.
That's a way they can change the game a little bit.
That is the first venture that they're really taking to branch away from TV and movies. Netflix hired Mike Verdu as vice president of game development, who's previously worked at EA, to expand into the world of video gaming.
That's
what do
not
you
really
think of the
good.
move?
Don't hire the EA guy.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I don't play video games, and I know that.
Right. You hired the EA guy. Oh, you did.
Oh,
I don't see how that could go poorly.
so you were on a budget, I see.
Yeah. So he's like, all right, so we're going to have these microtransactions.
We're out.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's what everybody will say.
A penny per button.
Every time you scroll through a Netflix TV show to see what you want to watch, it costs you a penny.
So is this like the Google Stadia cloud gaming kind of?
I've got to imagine it being so. And like, how does it integrate with your system? Does it integrate with your TV? I'm interested to see what they say.
If anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Netflix.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
Get it while it's hot.
I mean, I thought it was going to be Google, but apparently that's just spinning its wheels.
I'm still holding on to that Blockbuster stock. So, we'll see. Speaking of movies, our good friend Nicolas Cage, big fan of the show,
Nicky Nick.
just came out with a new movie. The movie is called Pig.
Another one?
Yeah. The movie is about a gentleman who is a truffle farmer, and as anybody in the culinary world that knows anything about truffles know, that's how they find them, is with pigs.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he loses his prized truffle pig. It was rated a 9 by IGN.
What?
Certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
How many people did they pay off?
This movie is kind of blowing up. Here's what IGN had to say about it. Pig subverts the expectations of the average revenge thriller and accentuates the deep emotional scars that offer the underscore of these stories. Nicolas Cage gives a measured, meticulous performance in Pig. Cage turns his usual explosiveness inward as he searches for his kidnapped truffle pig, resulting in a melancholy John Wick for the Portland restaurant scene.
I was going to say, is this like a John Wick but with a pig?
The trailer just looked like John Wick with a pig.
Oh my. I didn't see the trailer yet. Yeah, I didn't know. Hey, babe.
Hey.
Hey, boo.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Hi, Megan, as well. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks.
Had to do a little work. Do that work.
You had to work.
Yeah, I was
what a
stuck
sucker.
working.
What a dummy. Who works?
That's why I didn't bother you earlier. I've been there for a while. I was like, I'll just watch YouTube.
No, it's all right, man. You're
Ryan's
always
been-
welcome to come in.
He's been creeping around the front for a while.
He has. He's
so-
just been sitting in front of the house lately. He'll show up early and just sit in his house. I'm like, I just want to go out the door and be like, you're being weird. At some point, you just need to like start coming in. That way I don't just call the police for funsies.
I was going to say, did somebody call the
should.
cops? Neighborhood watch?
Hey,
Oh, man.
there's a guy just sitting there.
There's a guy sitting there. I've seen him come into your house before. Do you know him? Anyway, did we see the preview for The Witcher Season 2?
No.
Nope.
It's come out.
I didn't see the preview for The Witcher Season 1.
Really?
Did you see
Ditto.
Witcher season 1?
Actually, I watched the first episode and went,
You're better than me.
Wow. That was an excellent series. I liked it a lot. I liked the way they played with time a lot in that one. It was good. And this one is going to focus on the young lady. I can't remember her name off the top of my head or her character's name. But she is the focal point of developing her. If you'd watch the show, you'd know crazy cool stuff happens with her. But anyway, it also got a debut date of December 17th. So you boys have plenty of time to get caught up.
oh, no.
Yep. One episode a week. Just
So,
get it
December
over with.
17th, I'm going to be off.
Wow.
Ryan's
It's such
gonna
a
be out
good
of
show.
town.
You guys are killing me with this. All right. And the trailer was, I don't know, it was good. I think you should check it out.
All right.
Tomorrow War 2, already in development.
So was that signed before a minute
to have been.
of footage was filmed?
So here's the thing. I see these movies and I always am hearing like how bad they are from people. Like, oh, this movie really sucks. I can't stand it, blah, 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 blah,
Those
blah.
are my kind of people.
And then the fans come out and they're like, yo, this movie is legit. Like, I've heard so many bad things, but from people who I trust their opinions on movies, they're like, watch it. It's really good.
Honestly, that's what I haven't watched it yet, but I heard a lot of people say it was bad. Then a bunch of people in my feed the other day were like, this movie's really good. This movie's really good. I'm like, I may have to give it a try.
Yeah, I
It's
thought
free.
the same
I
thing.
got Amazon
I
Prime.
th-
Did
I
you
thought
watch
the
it?
same thing. No, I want
I
to. but
suspect it's somewhere in the middle. Like, it's just, I think it's going to be a good action movie. Like
Here-
an alien action movie.
here's my challenge. I feel like it's going to be a late night. I'm going to be up watching it, and this one is going to come strolling out of bed at like 8:30 because she goes to bed early.
He's pointing at Ryan.
That's
And
a
she's
lot.
going to be like,
I don't go to bed that early.
and she's going to come out like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't think you wanted to watch this. She's like, I do. Turn it off.
You
That's
gotta make
why
a list.
I haven't started watching.
And then
it
I
yet.
turn it off sadly and just go, yes, dear.
I was gonna watch it when my wife was out of town last week, and I was like, she'll probably actually want to watch this. so
Yeah,
I'll
it's
just
Chris
wait.
Pratt.
Yeah,
It's Chris
exactly.
Pratt. Who wouldn't want to watch that?
Yeah, I snuck in the Loki finale unknowingly to my partner.
Did you have to act surprised?
so-
Here's my surprise face.
So,
She doesn't know yet.
so last night
Love's
we
gonna know
finished.
you cheated on her now.
We finished D and
Watching that
D.
shit
Oh
without her.
yeah, I know Jen is an avid listener of the show.
Oh yeah, she's listened to an episode.
I know. Yeah, that you were like, hey, babe, check this out. But last night she's like, ooh, Loki finale, and it was already like 11, and I was like, I forgot it was out. She's like, oh, we can watch it tomorrow. I was like, no.
Yeah,
I had
will
to
be
jump
watching
on
that
it
shit
right
tomorrow.
away because I knew she'd be like, well, I'm not in the mood for that tonight. Maybe
Yeah.
tomorrow night. And then spoilers. So I'm like, I don't want spoilers.
I watched it. We'll talk about it next week.
Yes.
We can talk about it off the air a little bit,
Yeah.
away from these
Let me
two.
leave, yeah.
They haven't seen it yet?
No.
I'm only on 3. I mean,
I'll be
I'm
watching
on
it tonight.
So
Four.
good. Yeah, that's fine. We can watch it. It was excellent. I
Is
really liked it.
What I expected and not what I expected all at
Same
the same time. So
Same.
Lovely.
And I gotta say, going into the finale, without spoiling anything, WandaVision and Loki were on par. They were right next to each other for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, the finale is what's gonna answer this question for me. So
Was it better? or worse
next
than WandaVision?
story.
He says better. Yeah.
Well, listen, that's his opinion.
Yeah.
Mandalorian. The directors of The Mandalorian
Ooh,
are returning to do the book of Boba Fett.
I like that.
So the people who have made that show amazing are here to make the book of Boba Fett amazing. Let me just read you the list of directors who they've already got for Book of Boba Fett. Oh, Bryce Dallas Howard,
Okay, she did a really good episode.
who did the best episode I thought of season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Rodriguez,
Oh yeah.
ring a bell,
Yeah.
and John fucking Favreau.
Who's that?
I mean, you just look at the directors and you're like, yeah, I'm in. Okay,
That makes me happy.
I'm in.
Ryan might watch the trailer.
And they're
I might even watch it twice.
oh boy, but
double speed.
that's huge for me. And they already asked the actors. He's like, yeah, there's no plans for season 2 yet, according to him and his info. I'm like, buddy, you haven't even dropped a trailer yet.
yeah,
They don't
relax
have
with the
any
season
way
2
to
talk.
even pace the hype. And I'm sorry, but I kind of see where he's coming from. I'm sure people aren't lining up around the corner to hire the Boba Fett actor. Nothing against him, but he's one of those like Pacific Islanders, and you don't see them in a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't seen him in anything but Clone Wars.
That's pretty much
And,
it.
and from
I'm
since
sure he's
then,
done
I
other
haven't
stuff,
seen him.
but I haven't seen him in other
Right.
stuff.
Maybe he's big in Australia. If we have any Australian friends, let us know. Is he big in Australia?
Is
the
he
guy who
big?
plays Boba Fett?
in Switzerland.
Is he big in Switzerland?
We know we have fans there. Let us know.
Yeah, I'm about to sit here and legitimately learn Swiss. And The Mandalorian is now tied for most 2021 Emmy nominations.
Yeah, I saw those nominations roll out. I'm like, these are ridiculous.
Yeah, but I'm kind of excited for it.
Rhodey got a nomination.
That's
Okay,
on the
okay,
list.
okay.
That's on the list. Stranger Things. They say there is a plot point that they're going over regarding Hopper that's been there since season 1. Stranger Things season 4 will be the rebirth of Jim Hopper, according to David Harbour, who's excited to reveal a secret about the character he's known since season 1. What do we think that is?
He's the Red Guardian.
I
Very
think
on
it's that
theme.
he's freaking Russian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he's Russian. He comes out and speaks perfect Russian.
He's got a theme going. He's going to be typecast from now on.
Number 11. Anyway, on to DC news. Moving right along.
Yeah.
We wanted to. This
Tried to
one is
look in.
all Suicide Squad related.
And it looks like it was all
Hey,
positive.
I keep hearing about suicide. I'm gonna commit suicide.
Wow.
Who
Jesus.
cares?
That's
Movie's coming.
that
Let's
is
go.
dark.
You know what? I'm not coming to your funeral.
Taking a page out of Richard Sherman's book.
in honor of you. And they're like, Ryan's funeral, his celebration of life will be next Friday.
You're like, I ain't
I'm not
watching
watching that as I cry. I'm not watching that.
When I die, I just want a big party.
There we go.
Cigars
Why did
and-
Jared
All right,
Leto show
so
up?
so the release is going to be August 6th. I will be watching it
Fucking A.
August 5th and a half, probably, if I can. I really want to see this one bad.
Yeah.
And James Gunn came out and said he really needed Suicide Squad after being dropped by Marvel. Here's his direct quote. I thank God for all the stuff that I went through with Marvel because I really needed this movie. I needed to tell this story and I needed to meet the people who I've met while doing this film. I think he's talking specifically about John Cena, Margot Robbie, and most likely Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Everyone else, I think he knows personally already.
Yeah, they're all his cousins, actually.
Right. Like his brother is playing Weasel,
Yep.
Sean Gunn, who I love. But yeah, and then they were talking that DC offered him a Superman movie.
Yeah.
When he was first talking about crossing the picket line and going over to DC, they're like, "Do you want our best property?" Well, actually, he's probably second biggest.
That's been their go-to because they offered J.J. Abrams a Superman movie
Yeah.
too. They want somebody to make a fucking Superman movie.
Well, they
Jesus
want
Christ.
somebody really reputable. Like,
Yeah.
it'll never happen, but it's like Scorsese says, "Oh, I'll do a superhero movie." Okay, here's Superman.
I don't want to see that.
I do.
Not a Scorsese movie.
But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They want a Title I director, a big guy, and James Gunn is that.
And they thought they had that
So
with
Hey,
who did
Zack
that
Snyder.
They did.
Coming off of 300 and
Yeah.
Watchmen and everything else.
I can't say he's not that,
He's something.
but interesting.
Who did Batman Begins?
That was Christopher
Christopher
Nolan.
Nolan.
He did that whole trilogy.
Yeah.
And I imagine that trilogy was actually going to be even better because that was supposed to be a continuation of the Joker story.
Yeah. Go ahead and have him do it.
Christopher
I'd
Nolan?
watch.
He won't come back.
No, he's
He
done
wants
with
nothing to do with it.
that. Yeah, he's done with superheroes. I think
Oh,
he's
man.
pretty publicly said that.
Because he's tired of nerdy fans yelling at him all day on Twitter.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll just make my own stories.
Chris, just uninstall Twitter, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, Twitter is like the death of most celebrities, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, Twitter is just, it's direct contact to people who should have to pass a test to get internet access.
It's giving everybody in the world a megaphone.
Yeah, and
that's
I can
fucking
say
stupid.
whatever I want and everyone can see it. That doesn't always attract the right crowd.
No. It's
Not
just a
saying
bunch
that
of
there aren't
keyboard
good
warrior
people on
assholes.
Twitter,
Everybody on Twitter is a piece of shit.
but things Twitter reminds me of the PC gaming community.
Yeah, I could see that.
They're very opinionated. They're willing to attack you
Very
because they know
superior.
there's literally no repercussions.
It's a Call of Duty lobby
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yep.
in real life.
Anyway, Margot Robbie has come out and said she doesn't know she'll ever play Harley Quinn again.
See, now that she
Okay.
says that, then now I'm like, okay, then they're not going to kill her. Because I thought she was going to die.
I thought she might die too. And she says she's just as intrigued as everyone else and doesn't know after Suicide Squad if they'll see her again.
I would love if James Gunn is the kind of person to do this, if he filmed death scenes for everybody,
Yeah.
just so nobody really knew who died
Yeah.
in the movie.
Even
I
the
can see
actors
him
and
being,
actresses don't
I
know.
can see him being that
Yeah.
kind of person going,
He wasn't willing
No
to tell
leaks.
the production crew that Idris Elba was playing Bloodsport.
yeah, he kept that close to the chest.
They must have recorded that big set piece like last.
Yeah.
He just shows up. People like, what the hell is he good? What's
They're
he
like,
doing here?
so his name was just Vigilante. So I don't know if that was Nello trying to call me.
What was that?
Anyway, on to Marvel news. That was it for DC. I'm excited. August 6th. It's got the release date. Let's do it.
Cool.
Is it going to be in theaters?
Yes.
Are we going together this time?
Let's do it. I will not
Okay.
stop any of you.
We can on the 6th.
Son of a bitch.
We're playing D&D.
On the 6th, that means we'll be going at 5th at midnight.
Oh, the movie
thought that
comes
was
out on
on
a
a-
Wednesday?
No.
No.
The 6th is like
They're all
the-
coming out Fridays now.
And also,
the
we're
6th
playing on
is
the
a
7th.
Friday.
Oh.
Yeah, we're playing on the 7th.
Okay, well, whatever.
Oh, so yes, the 6th. We're on. Let's do it.
Okay.
Friday night,
Everybody
we'll get
take
some
a half day.
popcorn. Ryan and I will wear those big baggy pants, just sit next to each other, all curled up. It'll be great.
I'm about it.
Why the pants?
I don't think that's any of your damn business.
I guess I'll
Yeah,
wear
what
the
are you, a
tight
cop?
ones.
And sit in the middle. Megan,
Excuse me?
you can come too if you feel like it.
Oh, thanks.
Marvel news. I just wanted to clarify a little bit. What if we were doing a little bit of speculation
What if?
about what the storylines were going to be for What If? And they put them out there, and there's at least 4 that are confirmed.
We were pretty
matter of
close
fact,
on everything but one.
There's 5. Right. There was one that we were pretty bad.
There was one I went, oh, God.
Yeah. What if Peggy Carter became a super soldier? We knew that one.
Yep. We said Captain Britain.
What if Killmonger saved Tony Stark? We knew that one. This one is what if Tony and Steve, not the Avengers, what if Tony and Steve specifically became zombies?
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, interesting.
So they take the 2 higher ups and make everybody else hunt them down?
I still think you better pack a lunch if you think you're going to turn the Hulk into a zombie.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I bet you
now I
Hulk is
want
one
it.
of the final guys they could even think about getting because his skin is so tough. Who's going to bite through it? Oh, Captain America, maybe. And what if T'Challa grew up as a Ravager?
Yeah, we guessed that one.
We did. And the one we guessed wrong.
Oh, my God, were we wrong?
What if the Vision got all 6 Infinity Stones?
Yeah, that would be dope.
Oh,
It's going to be
God.
interesting. Would the Infinity Stones somehow corrupt the incorruptible? You know what I mean?
I just think he would be...
You give that sentient
all-being,
being all
yeah.
that power?
Poof.
Interesting. So that's what we had there. Speaking of the Vision, king of segue, baby. WandaVision got 23 Primetime Emmy nominations, including Best Outstanding Limited or Anthology Series.
That's too many.
23? That's a lot.
I mean, the show deserves it, but that's just too many.
It
for
could
one
be
show.
more nickel and dimey, and they could give somebody a Emmy nomination for 110 seconds of screen time.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Yeah. Don. We're looking at you, Don Cheadle.
Oh, I thought it was Chadell.
No. First and foremost, I love that dude.
Yeah.
I think he's fantastic.
Oh, he's
and I absolutely loved his quote about being nominated for only being on screen for 110 seconds in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He's literally in it for the first scene, and then he's gone.
God.
But it says, thanks, well-wishers. Sorry, haters. I agree. I don't knowers. I don't get it either, but on we go.
Yep.
I was
I'll
like,
put that shit
yeah.
on my shelf.
Move on, baby. Because I bet you if he gets it, he's going to go up there and collect that Emmy.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I win.
His
Bye.
speech will be exactly 110 seconds long.
That would be amazing.
He
and
times it.
He
He just puts
Is
a
the
timer up.
same
Yeah,
sound
like
you
a little
get in the beginning?
Just shits in the face of the Academy. That'd be great.
Oh, I'll take a while.
Some news for this one over here.
Can't wait.
Taika Waititi came out and said some
yeah.
dangerous
I saw
things about
this.
Thor 4.
Oh, boy.
Did you hear what he said?
No.
He said, Thor 4 is the craziest thing he's ever done. Here's the quote. If you wrote down all the elements of this film, it shouldn't make sense. If you walked into a room and said, I want this and this and this, who's in it? These people. What are you going to call it? Love and Thunder. He goes, I mean, you'd never work again. Maybe I won't after this.
Oh, boy.
So this movie, I think, is just going to be like, I think after Ragnarok and some of the things that Taika Waititi has done, they're like, here's the keys, man.
Just let him get weird.
Do it. Just do what you're going to do.
That's Thor is just...
Hey, well, what if I want that?
the weird guy.
Just do what you're going to do.
Yep.
We're in.
Bring me Walt Disney's head.
Speaking of Taika Waititi, he was in a YouTube video this week. Did we all watch that?
I did.
The introduction of a certain merc with a certain mouth into the MCU
Yeah. In a commercial.
with Korg.
It was Korg and Deadpool.
Hello, Mr. Poole. Sorry you are dead. I'm Korg. I'm made of rocks.
You at least have to watch the first minute of this.
Yeah.
It's-
Oh, I'm gonna
It
watch it. I
was-
just hadn't got a chance.
So
to yet.
he's basically a genius, Ryan Reynolds is. He's doing a review of, well, not a review, a trailer review of Free Guy.
trailer reaction.
Trailer reaction. He calls it the reaction faction. And him and Korg are sitting there watching it, and Ryan Reynolds or Deadpool clearly hates Korg. He's just like, oh my God, you are the worst. He's like even swearing at him. He's like, oh, you got a Disney Plus series show, don't you? And he's just like really dogging him. It gives me so much hope for Deadpool when he finally crosses over that they're going to let him be Deadpool.
yeah, and I want this show. Like, I want Korg to be in a Deadpool movie now.
So Taika Waititi, I think, is directing or starring in, I know he's at least starring in Free Guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's directing as well.
I don't think he's directing, but he is in it.
Yeah, he's the main villain. But anyway, that's very exciting. I can't wait to see that.
Well, I guess when the great overlords at Disney own everything, there's so much crossover we can do.
Have fun, boys. Make us proud. You don't want us to get upset and come down there, okay? Whoa, hey, oh, hey.
It was funny when Ryan Reynolds said, "Free Guy." I thought this movie already came out.
Yeah.
Which I said the same thing.
I love how he looked at it and he goes, yeah, it's Ryan Reynolds, which is pretty much just me, which is insulting. Oh, Ryan. So, Loki. I don't want to spoil too much.
Or are you
But
talking
I'll
about
say
it
this.
at all?
It's been renewed for season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one cameo that I couldn't not talk about. And it's one of
Not the big cameo.
Megan's favorites.
Oh.
And that is a version of Thor. If you're anywhere on social media, you know there are a lot of versions of Loki. And you imagine for all those versions of Loki, there's a version of Thor somewhere. And there is a Thor in this show.
No, I'm not even gonna watch it. Way to ruin it.
And it is voiced by Chris Hemsworth. So if you know what I'm talking about, you'll get a chuckle out of that. But that bit was actually Chris Hemsworth.
And it's a blink and you'll miss it. So it's not a huge spoiler.
It's pretty amazing. But here's another thing that just brought my heart so much joy. Tom Hiddleston, they asked him if he would play Loki forever, and he said, absolutely. I will play this character as long as you let me show up. I mean, when you see people that love your characters as much as you love your characters, I'm like, let that guy be him. I'd rather have a lesser actor who absolutely loves the character play them than somebody who's like, I'm here for a paycheck. Like the guy who played everybody's favorite mutant, Mr. Nightcrawler, Everybody was like, oh my God, Nightcrawler, this is incredible. And the guy's like, I will definitely not be back. I don't want to do any of this makeup. I don't want to deal with it. When there are people, everyone in this room included, who would kill somebody to be able to play Nightcrawler in a movie for the rest of their career.
Yeah.
I think
Same thing happened with Jennifer Lawrence.
until we go through that process of having makeup put on.
It's a pretty
us
gross
every
process.
day for 8 hours.
But for a dump truck full of money?
And the 8 hours.
Man, I'm doing anything for a dump truck full of money.
The 8 hours. The 8 hours aren't free. You're getting paid for that.
Yeah. You're probably getting paid,
Not to mention every time
$3,000 an hour.
Yeah, a kid goes out and buys a Nightcrawler toy, you're going to get a quarter of a penny for that or something. I mean, give me a break.
But yeah, I liked how in Loki, like after episode 2, he's just like, I'm wearing Tom Hiddleston clothes for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I'm wearing what I showed up in.
All right, so we're going to take a really quick break so these two guys can go pee.
I got a tinkle.
And then we will be back to talk a little bit more Marvel, and then we're diving into Black Widow.
Black Widow. Is that the theme? I don't remember.
I'm a lost. I was about to hit the music again. Welcome back.
You should have.
Do we need welcome back music?
We do.
Oh, it's going to be a while.
Welcome back from the commercial break. The Alter Ego Podcast with your host, Jack Austin. Also starring Cyborg Mark, Mr. Ryan Glover, and Megan Alter. Okay, we're enough of that.
Okay.
I'm gonna love the fact that there's no music break, no commercial break, and they're just gonna come back to music playing just randomly for no reason.
That would be really interesting, but that's not going to happen.
You guys are silly.
They're getting commercials. You guys are getting commercials. You're liking them. Sorry. I don't want you to have commercials. If it was up to me, you wouldn't have commercials.
Ever.
They wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Nope.
But Mark, wish that evil on us. It's gonna be a HelloFresh commercial.
Yep. But you know what? I mean, hosting isn't free. So
No, it's true.
Nope, it's not.
Anyway, we love you guys. Kevin Feige was asked recently about a crossover movie between Venom and the Spiderman, and he was kind of non-committal about it.
not a day goes by
It's
where
like,
he hasn't asked about it.
I won't rule anything out. We know, Kevin. We know you won't. It has to be the right deal, but I want to see it.
It's money. So whenever money's on the table,
They're like,
It's never
oh, they
ruled
want to
out.
give us back Spider-Man and Venom? Okay,
never.
we'll take it. You don't think Sony's ever given them up?
Sony's like the only company in the world that has like a hand up on Disney.
Whoever said in the Sony board meeting, we should buy Spider-Man. Just buy Spider-Man. That guy forever has a corner office.
Mm-hmm.
He's like those MLB players that get paid millions and millions and millions and don't play for the team anymore, but still get paid.
I was going to say, he hasn't been to work in 5 years.
He doesn't have to be. Johnson, I heard you were late. Yeah, you did hear that I brought up the Spider-Man idea in the meeting. And they go, as you were, as I was.
That was 8
As
years
I
ago,
was.
though.
He's just sitting in the break room eating Phyllis's cake. It's like, hey, that's Phyllis's birthday. I brought up Spider-Man. Straight up J. Jonah Jameson's the whole place. And it's even better that I'm picturing a Japanese guy sounding like me.
Acting like J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a...
I don't know how to do a
Mishmash.
good Japanese accent, but talking about that, maybe I'll just move on. Guardians 3, James Gunn, back in the news.
I'm so happy I had this opportunity to make Guardians 3. It's what I really needed.
Yeah, right. That's the exact quote. Okay. So, Karen Gillan, who plays Nebula, says she cried full tears. I'm assuming that's a European saying, full tears.
No part tears.
Reading the emotional and brilliant Guardians of the Galaxy script. Here's the full quote. I read that script with Palm Clementif, which is Mantis,
Yep.
who plays Mantis. Mm-hmm. We read it together and we both cried and laughed. There were full tears, the Guardian star told the Collider. It's incredible. I think it's James's strongest work yet. Suicide Squad. Yeah, with the Guardians, and it's just brilliant. It's brilliant, and it's emotional, and it's funny, and it's all of those things that you expect in a Guardians movie.
I don't know. Has she seen the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas script? Maybe that one's better.
Maybe that one's it. The Christmas spirit. I want to see Drax in that.
That is a thing, right? The Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah,
Christmas
that's the
special?
thing.
Yeah.
And it falls in the actual
Yeah,
MCU
yeah.
timeline.
For sure.
Space
That's
Christmas.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. Can't wait. All the guns.
Moving down the list here, Black Panther news. Angela Bassett says there have been 5 different scripts written for Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. God. Yeah. Does that mean that it was like it just wasn't perfect enough? They had to go back and redo something?
Or they just pivoted, like, we should go this way.
Yeah.
What if we went that way? What if we did it like this?
I just thought of something. Oh, God, I can't talk about it until next week. Never mind. Moving on.
Don't ruin it.
There's a new voice actor playing Black Panther in the Avengers Assemble video game.
Mm-hmm.
It is the young man by the name of Christopher Judge, who plays Kratos in God of War.
Oh.
Yeah, right?
That's a heavy hitter.
Kind of a big name. And he originally said he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it. And I can understand that. He says, I rejected it immediately because who wants to go after Chadwick Boseman?
Yeah, but none of the MCU actors were in that video game.
No, that's true. But
So he didn't
the
take the
next
job.
part is, but people know that if it had something to do with T'Challa, that Chadwick Boseman wanted to do it because he wanted to really take on that role. And he said after his parents and his son and his wife and his family were like, do it. Don't, we are going to disown you if you don't take this role. He eventually did it. And from what I've heard, that expansion, the Wakanda expansion, to get through that whole story is 25 hours of content.
Oh my God, that's how long I want a whole video game to be.
So just to put that in perspective, the original story starring Kamala Khan, which is incredible that you should play, it's really good, is 11 and a half hours.
Oh my God, okay.
So Wakanda is double the video game.
I can see why.
Let's get it. I want to walk around Wakanda, okay?
Is this the first one they charge for?
No, they're not charging for any of it. It's free.
That's a lot of work for free.
Of all the Avengers, who's the one you want to see walk around in Wakanda not named T'Challa?
Manape. Umbaku.
By the way, there's a lot of lore and characters from Black Panther lore in this expansion from what I've heard.
Sounds like a whole freaking game.
Of the Avengers, who would you like to see in Wakanda?
Tony Stark, obviously.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Trying to steal some tech.
I don't think he was a steal the tech kind of guy.
Can I borrow this?
I think he's like, I like this. I can duplicate this.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Probably the Winter Soldier.
He's not in the game yet, but he's not in the game yet. But
he could be.
And
here.
when he is,
of the main event, he's on the list. He's on the list.
I'm about it.
I was gonna say Winter Soldier at first, but I mean, obviously Thor.
Thor. Okay, I want to see Captain America because he's been there.
Yeah,
I want to
So is
see
Thor.
if he walks through and he's like, "Hey, no, this is a completely separate universe from the MCU."
Oh, okay, well, what the hell do I?
But I want to see Captain America because in lore, Captain America knew T'Chaka and helped him with a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Hopefully, there's some nods and voices to that. But speaking of Black Panther and What If, it is officially official that Chadwick Boseman's final performance that will ever be released is his being credited as voice of T'Challa in What If. Heavy stuff.
That kind of strikes you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like, damn.
I'm glad we got it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And speaking on that expansion, that trailer made me almost go back and play the game the other day. I saw you playing it too. I was
Get
like,
on,
maybe
man.
I'll
Let's do it. At this point, I could breezily walk you through that game with Hawkeye, Captain America, or Thor. Probably mostly Hawkeye because I love him. But anyway, we'll get to that. We'll table that discussion for later. But now it's time to talk a little bit about Black Widow, who we have been waiting so long
Oh, did this movie come out?
to see her little, her little movie,
A little flick.
her little IOU. This movie that people were like, ugh, I don't want to watch this.
When are we calling spoilers? Are we doing it right out of the gate, or are we pushing it?
No.
Let's talk about a couple things first. Just how we thought the movie was. I mean, let's give it your overall opinion of the movie. It made $218 million among theaters and Disney Plus, and has been the most successful movie since the pandemic.
Tells you everything you need to know right there.
People wanted to see it. We were ready. And my beautiful wife here, who she and I value comfort over everything, was like, let's get it on Disney Plus. I'm like, nope. I'm going to the theater. I have to.
They probably make more money off Disney Plus than they do from the
They
theater.
might.
Yeah.
They might. But was I right, though? It was so
good. It was
good.
really, really good. And
We
we
saw
saw
it-
it at the Dolby.
Yes.
So
Same.
like the seats shook and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
That was really legit. AMC in Tampa, if you're here, go to AMC in Tampa, see it in Dolby. It's worth it. I can't do 3D. It hurts my eyes.
Yeah, I
It kills
hate
me. But Dolby was a different experience
Yeah.
for a movie. You should
Just felt
definitely.
the movie, literally.
Yeah.
Literally. And I even said before the movie started, if I don't feel this, I want my money back.
I want to feel something,
And we
even if I have
actually-
to pay for it.
And I said it clearly as a joke because our friend actually hooked us up with some sweet seats.
That's correct.
For the movie. So.
She's amazing, and we love her.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So we were the
Much
alternate
appreciated.
version of you guys. We did the same thing. We're like, I don't really feel like going to the movies. Let's just stay in. And we stayed in.
Probably still a great experience.
Nice.
It was the same $30 we would have spent at the theaters.
Exactly.
And I
And we
sat
were able
my
to
ass
take
on
the
the couch.
boys. Yeah.
And that's okay. However you choose to enjoy your movies, you do you. Me personally, I have a connection with going to the movies to see my Marvel, other than the TV series. So to me, I was just like, this is a part of my mantra, my thing that I got to do
And it's
when
been
I'm
so
going to watch
long.
this. Yeah, I've got to sit in the theater and watch these movies. So anyway, overall, how do we think this movie was in terms of Black Widow as a character, in terms of its effect on the overarching MCU, and just your overall opinions on it as a movie?
Ryan?
It was all right. I mean,
It's a groundbreaking review from
no,
Ryan.
no. I mean, it's
Without
not,
getting into
it's not
spoilers.
bad. I'm not gonna say I hated it, but I feel like kind of like my wife was saying, like I would have liked that Black Widow movie a little before, and the last section.
So
Yeah.
to what he's talking about, it takes place between Civil War
Yep.
And Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Which
Like
I
if they would have dropped
personally-
it right then, that would have been great.
Yeah,
Would've been perfect.
I was thinking the same. Like I really liked. I was actually the very first thing I wanted to say was that I liked the placement of it. I liked where it was in the storyline.
Right.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think it probably would have been a little bit more impactful then. I think I understand why they did what they did and why they waited, and we can talk about that more on the spoiler end.
For
of it.
sure. When we say, hey, here's our spoilers,
Yeah.
which we will.
I'm
But,
interested to see what that is because I looked at this and I'm like, there's no reason for this to be here.
Yeah.
I think honestly, and it's not really even a spoiler. I think because of the extended scene and their plans for certain characters moving forward, I think it needed to be now and not before. That's
Yeah.
what I think.
That was my other thing
Yeah.
too.
So-
that I thought.
so-
I was like, it makes sense.
I thought the movie was really good.
I loved it. I really did.
I thought that it was really good. I agree.
It screams Phase 2 movie.
And here's one thing that I can't stand when movies do this is when they're in a connected universe and there are earth-shattering events and you're thinking to yourself, where the fuck are the other Avengers?
Iron
You're
Man
always
3
going,
all over again.
Wait a minute. How does everybody in the world know that this is happening and only this character's there? So in that terms, I thought Black Widow nailed it because she was able to stay off the radar and handle something that was just at the scale that I was like, this is so under wraps that nobody would know.
Yep.
Nobody would know she's doing anything.
Until the last 5 minutes of the movie, nobody would know anything.
Exactly.
Yep.
And by the time any of those characters, not named Thor, know what's happening, they wouldn't have time to show up.
But see, it was also during the time of Civil War. So remember, you had the guys split, and then
Yep.
that whole thing.
Everybody
went their
It makes
own
a lot
way.
of sense why that
Yep.
happened too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not going to spoil it. Spoiler.
Right.
Not yet.
We'll get
So-
there. We'll get there.
my God.
But that's what I mean is like that was the perfect scale for her, and the arc of the movie and her motivations and her antagonists and some of her protagonists were deeply ingrained into who that character is. There's a couple things that we'll get into with the spoilers that I couldn't stand, but overall it's perfect for her.
Yeah, I just, without giving away any spoilers, I won't do that.
We'll
but
give
I
it like
thought
3 more minutes.
I thought the scale
Megan's about to burst.
I thought the scale of the movie was perfect for Black Widow because it showed her skill set.
Yeah.
And what she could handle and how she could take care of things without doing that whole underdog, I don't know what I'm going to do. No, this is what she does.
Yeah.
She's Black Widow.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I'm doing and I know how to handle this.
I loved that too.
I got
loved
one
that.
spoiler. The only thing I'm sad about is that Vin Diesel didn't come through and hang out with family too. You know what I mean?
It's all about family.
Oh, God. Why would we even bring Vin Diesel up? He has nothing to do with that.
Like,
I don't know why we would bring Vin Diesel up. I have no
reviews that
idea.
I saw, or people was like, it was like a Marvel movie meets Fast and the Furious, and that's
Yeah.
kind of how I felt. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, well,
Because it's about family.
There are some massive action set pieces and a lot of really freaking amazing
There are some
chases
car races,
and
yeah.
some stunts
Chases.
that happen
Yeah.
in this movie. There's no shortage of action, start to finish.
They didn't spare a dime on this movie. It looked
Okay.
great. It was cast great.
I think we're all kind of, for once in our lives, we're kind of in agreement about this movie.
For me, I want a little more action, but I guess you guys felt it was. I felt it
there was a
little-
lot of action.
little long.
I thought there was and when there wasn't action, the character development between her and the rest of the cast was awesome. There's nothing that I looked at. Take that back. There's one thing in the movie that I was like, just cut this crap out.
Yeah.
But
It's probably the same thing I'm thinking about.
Either way, I was just like, this is perfect for her. So, that being said,
If you haven't seen it, get the hell out of here.
if you haven't seen
Gotta
Black
go.
Widow, I'm going to give you 5 seconds, and then we're getting deep into spoiler territory. We're going to talk about plot points, characters, where we think it's going from there. We're going to definitely touch on the scene that Megan brought up, the post-credits. So we're talking about all of it. So you have been warned. Here is your chance to get out of here. So if that's you're leaving, that's your cue. We'll see you next week. If not, we'll get into it in a second.
So Black Widow came back to life, and that was my favorite part.
so crazy. So now that the 5 seconds
No, we didn't
is
even
over-
give them 5 seconds.
Yeah, but by now it's been 5 seconds. We love you guys.
And
How
now-
many
Now's the
times are you going to
last
say
chance.
5 seconds?
Last
and
chance.
not give it to them.
And-
5, 4,
3, 2, 1. So is the thing that bothered you the fact that they kept showing her ass on the camera? Because that kept happening.
No, that didn't bother me at all.
No problems
She
there.
asked for that, actually.
One of the few things that kept me away.
It was kind of like, this is not America's ass. I don't need to see it 15 times.
Russia's ass.
Maybe that must be from the female perspective, but a lot of the people
Oh
watching
my God,
that.
too many butts.
Actually, he's the one that brought it up to me. He was like, we don't need close-ups on her ass every 5
There
seconds.
was one lingering shot where I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Hello. It
They
took
are
up like
just
the whole
zooming in.
screen. That's Russia's ass.
I was saying that I was like, they are really making a point to focus in on her butt in a lot of these scenes.
Yep.
She's like, I worked out for this.
Yeah.
I'm squeezed into the
Again.
PVC vinyl suit. We're going to make it fucking work.
The white suit was not as flattering, though. I'm just going to say that.
No.
The
No,
one
white never is.
No.
Yeah, the one thing that I didn't like about this movie is the stupid fucking supply guy. Why was he in the movie? Why did he even need to
I
be
didn't
there?
mind him.
He had no point in being there. It would have made more sense to me. The Black Widow had all the backup plans and all the stuff, and that she already knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
That she needed some dude who, did we remember his name?
The
She
guy
never says it.
Daryl.
from
Yeah, you don't even know his
Handmaid's Tale.
name.
So this is the thing. He's one of those characters that I kind of agree in a setting for like this particular movie, but obviously there's there's characters in this movie, her sister more specifically, that I think will end up kind of taking that mantle at some point or becoming a bad guy. Who the fuck knows? But I think either way, that's kind of her introduction to him, was showing that interactions with him, and I think that he might play a supply guy for her, but here he was introduced. Still not important, but that's probably why.
He's sleeping. He's always in a jean jacket and somehow is able to get everything already squared away, and he somehow knows her intimately and is, oh, I owe you, or you owe me, blah blah blah. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Did they ever say why? Did they ever say how?
No.
Like that's kind of what gets me.
Maybe the whole point was that she's so good at what she does. She has all these other people in her life that nobody knows about. Long-term friends, people she's known for years that do favors for her that we've never seen and don't need to, because she
Maybe
just has that at her disposal.
I was
to
gonna
me-
say maybe that's where that comes in. Is that right there? Is that she has all these secret.
Because there may be
people.
other people we don't
And
know
it kind of
about.
seems like she's extra badass because she's got all these people in her back
Get
pocket.
me a jet. Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of took it a little different. Like, that's the only friend she has that wasn't Clint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she didn't have family other than the Avengers. You know what I mean? Like she said, she's got 2 families. You know, she doesn't have any friends. Her own sister, she didn't even know, but she calls this guy and he's there and he shows up. Doesn't ask questions, just, hey, I brought you a jet, got you a helicopter on short notice, and I owe you.
Everybody
Which
needs a
means that
guy.
exactly, you got a guy. That's
I-
her guy in the chair, man.
to me, but he had no personality. He had nothing. No, he just was like, yeah, I got it. Great. Oh, well, here's the generator. All right, bye.
Well, I mean, if we're going to bitch about characters, let's fucking talk about Taskmaster.
Yes.
That is the part that I could have done without.
Yep.
Yeah.
That character was trailer bait
Yep.
all the way through.
Okay. We don't agree on that one. I thought it was interesting to tie that in and have some sort of guilt for her, some drive. I mean, once they revealed
Eliminating the red room is the drive.
I felt like he didn't belong before that. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, sure, he's here. What is he, a hired gun? He's just somebody who just works for somebody?
I was kind of the same way. I was like, so if he is known to have these widows and he's got this army of people, why the fuck does he need that? That was my thing. So when they did reveal it, I was the same way. I was kind of like, why is he here? What's the point if this
Checks
guy's
and
got an arm?
balances.
And
Because when she went rogue, I mean, those 2 were like 2 of the best. So you sent all those other widows after, and they just got fucked up.
But
you gotta have an enforcer, and I'm like, I
don't
like this. My big thing was that he wasn't in it enough.
Yeah.
To me, the guy who was just their bad guy, who his defense was pheromones. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's a weak target. Like, she could easily assassinate him, and that movie'd be over quick.
So that was my other big gripe about the movie. I thought he was good as a villain, but the whole pheromones thing, if you can smell him, you won't kill him. Okay, so if I'm 50 yards away, blow, I win.
Say, plug your nose. I don't know.
She goes, no, it's different. You have to have the nerves in you. What?
sever the
Shut
nerve,
up.
They just
And that
wanted to
was the
have
other one. Sever the nerve, and she headbutts the desk.
Yeah.
Stop it. That was the dumbest
That was
moment
a
of that
Fast
movie.
and Furious moment.
When
right
she
there.
did that, I was like, what if she comes up and she's missing a brain cell or maybe a couple teeth?
eyeballs hanging out. Too hard.
She's
too
all like,
hard.
dude, no, I'm going to stop you. And like she just bangs her head into stupidity.
I always wondered why she just didn't pop one of the red things when she was trying to make that point of what they were. Hit Black Widow with it in the face, and she'd be undone too. And,
Well, the point was Black Widow had been done with that for a long time.
well, no, she had a reaction when it went off. And
Yeah, I didn't really like the little
red thingy,
glitter
yeah.
pops.
Yeah, she had a reaction, so she must have still had some ties to it or whatever.
She couldn't punch him.
Yeah, but that's when she smashed her face, though.
And
what made her stop.
that was she's like, you have to sever the nerve. And Widow's like, I can do that. I didn't even tell you what nerve it is. I don't even know how are you going to handle this?
It's in your foot, actually.
I think she like tapped her on her head.
Yeah, I tap you on the head. That doesn't mean the nerve is right behind where my finger is.
Well,
she
knows.
face
I mean,
plants.
if
She's a
he's
widow.
smart enough to know how to do it, then he knows
also a
exactly where it is.
scientist.
So
Exactly.
That being said, those are my only gripes about the movie.
yeah.
Let's talk about
I'm
David
bitching a
Harbour.
lot, but there is a lot to love.
That
Well,
Red
that's-
Guardian.
My other gripes was the slow down, the slow motion when like Black Widow's when doing the thing in the end and like it's gonna blow up and you're like, she doesn't die here, bro. We know she
Yeah.
doesn't die here. Why are you trying to be dramatic?
That's the
Let it
part
run.
with having a movie like this. The drama sucked out of the situation because you know
no, she doesn't die.
the end. You know what's going to happen.
Still good.
I think it's
To a
very
certain extent.
it's theatrical. It's the art form.
Yeah.
It's to show the desperation, even though you know she's not going to die. But what are they just going to skip over that? Because why even make the movie? You know she lives.
You could have made it like made her look a lot cooler, make her do a couple more poses and a hair flip, you know?
So for those
do
people
something
down
else.
the road,
Maybe make
years
this
from
movie
now,
5 years ago.
that watch it on Disney Plus and they watch it in sequential order where these movies happen, they might not know.
They got the machete cut. I like it.
There you go.
That's true. They might not know.
Which I like that idea. And I thought to myself, when I rewatch this, and I plan to several times in my life, I'm going to watch Black Widow right between Civil War and Infinity
It's gonna
War.
be
Could you
perfect.
imagine though, like watching it in order and not having seen any of the movies that follow, and it falls right before Infinity War, and then you watch the after credit scene, and you're like, "Hold the fuck on, Black Widow's dead."
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you have to watch 7 hours of movie to find out what the fuck happened to her.
Well, that after credit scene was like a last minute right in because actually this movie was supposed to come out before Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
Correct.
So there's no way that scene could have made
Yep.
any sense
that's true.
originally. So they probably filmed that on set
Like
at
a week
Falcon
ago.
and Winter Soldier.
So we talked about that, and I liked the Taskmaster tie-in to the villain as to why she should give a shit or why she cares. I thought that was really good, but I want to talk about the supporting characters now, not just Scarlett Johansson. I feel like somebody should go find Florence Pugh and put her in jail for stealing that movie. She
Yeah.
was the best character.
Their plan worked.
She was
Bar
very
none.
good, very good.
I liked her more than I even liked Black Widow. Maybe it's because I've known Black Widow so long and she was fresh and new, but I was like, damn, I like this character.
She's a really good actress, and she had all the really good emotional scenes with all the characters individually.
Yeah.
She had scenes with her dad, with her mom, with her sister, with everybody. So you can see her making that connection. It's almost like we're through her point of view when it comes
Yeah.
to the situation. So
And it's just-
they
she
they
was
did
funny.
that perfectly.
She was hilarious.
She
When
was
that
hilarious.
Fucking helicopter hit the ground. I laughed so hard in my house. I laughed like a mad person. That is
like-
probably my favorite moment in the MCU.
We don't
That
have enough
one
gas to get to
scene.
St.
Like,
Petersburg.
and then
Yes, we do.
he goes,
okay.
we'll get there. She goes, okay.
Boom! Smashed into the helicopter crash. I almost fell off my couch. I was
Yeah.
laughing so hard.
Yeah, that was just too.
I love
funny.
when they were in that little convenience store too, and she was making fun of her
Her-
for the superhero
Yeah,
pose.
yeah.
It was spectacular. She just kept
Like
flipping
this?
it.
Like this
kept-
isn't great.
Yeah.
flipping her hair over and over again. Why you do this? You're a poser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're posing.
I'm not a poser. You're a poser.
And then when she did it in the red room, and she fell, she's like, "Bleh."
Well, my favorite was when Black Widow did it
Yeah.
in the prison, and she's like, poser.
yeah.
And when she kinda
It was
realized
very.
it.
It was a very very good sister
Oh yeah.
back and forth. Like I loved that.
The,
I think
the
it was really
emotional
nice.
connections they made in this
Yeah.
movie in a short amount of time
Between all
were
the characters.
Oh my god, we're great. Like I felt something for all
Yeah.
of these people, good, bad, or indifferent. And here's my one thing: how long until Florence Pugh loses that accent? So probably by the time we see her in the MCU in the future, it's already gone.
If she loses it, yeah.
I mean, Black Widow did.
Black Widow never had one.
Oh, she had a thick
She
Russian
had a
accent.
thick one in the first movie.
Captain and Iron Man 2.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
But
She
she's
did.
I'm from
also-
Russia,
Yeah.
like that.
I would be.
I
I'm
think it
going
was
to
part of
ask
her
you guys
ruse,
to
though.
go watch that
Yeah,
movie
I
again
was gonna say.
But I
and
think it
realize
was-
she doesn't.
part
I
of
think
her
it was part
ruse.
of her ruse though, because she was
the assistant.
she
or whatever.
was in a major ruse then. So I don't know why she would go Russian. Maybe because she can easily do that thick accent.
But at the end of Iron Man 2, she goes, "There you go, Tony. You got your friend back."
Yeah, that's
Just
what I
like
mean.
that.
So
She doesn't have an accent.
I
in that
think
movie.
she was doing it because she was
Yeah.
trying
Everybody
to, like,
loses their
pretending
accent
to
in the
be-
MCU.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. But let's talk about David Harbour.
Oh
We
yeah.
have to talk about the Red Guardian.
The biggest transformation, really, of any character in the movie, because he's playing suburban double agent dad, which he plays masterfully. He
Yes.
really does a great job. And then the next time you see him, he has been quadruple crossed. He's
Yep.
in prison for life. and you
Tattoos
found out
everywhere.
that he knew he was a double agent and didn't really give a shit about any of
All
the
he
kids.
wanted to be was a super soldier, which I really didn't put two and two together. And actually, somebody at work brought this to my attention the other day. That like it shows him in the beginning running after the plane, and then it shows the plane clocking at like 52 miles an hour. I did not put two and two together.
Well, then
He
I
didn't
flipped
put it
that-
away
that
when
trailer.
he flipped the trailer?
I
Oh
didn't
no,
think-
then I did, but I'm
Yeah.
just like I knew that there was something, but like it just at first when when I don't know, I didn't
Yeah.
think about it when
Yeah.
he's running after the plane. I did not think about it.
I didn't think he was a super soldier. I thought he might have been like a mutant of some sort. Like, oh, she's actually
Yeah,
got
that's
powers.
kind of what I was thinking
Someone
too.
low key, like Black Widow's really
Yeah.
a badass.
Yeah.
But no.
There were so many flaily broken limbs in this movie. I freaking loved it.
Yeah.
When he broke that dude's arm.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Straight
Yeah.
calling him out.
Yup.
That
Yeah,
was
he
gross.
goes. He
I
goes,
thought he
oh,
was
you
still-
fought him during this time? He was on ice then. You calling me a liar?
Crack.
Yeah, it's
I love when he was in the bathroom putting on his suit and he was just like,
Oh yeah, all the women.
He
Oh
comes
my
out
God.
and stands in his superhero pose.
How about the family scene when they're at the dinner,
table?
the air quotes family scene, and they're going back and forth arguing, and every time they go to Florence Pugh, she's taking
taking a
another shot.
Yes.
They go back to her, and she's like, "Ugh," and they're like, "Oh, what about this? We loved you. You didn't love me. You were this." Ugh, and she's taking another shot.
She's
I was
not
like,
even
"Yo,
contributing.
That's how I
She's
feel with
just-
my family.
yeah." Everybody identified with Florence Pugh power drinking,
Yes.
while the family sat there and argued.
And man,
So good.
the master plan, the double cross, the secret initiative was perfect.
Yep.
I loved it
At the end?
so much.
And
Oh,
Rachel,
yeah.
but
Oh, I
Rachel
called it.
Weisz also, she did an excellent job of playing like the older Black Widow, the
Yep.
one who was playing the players.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like she did so good.
Boy.
And then the fact that she was, I mean, I was happy to see that she turned, but I was also like, they got me. Because when she was down, I was like, I want to see where this goes. I want to see Rachel Weisz have a moment of crisis in front of this guy. Then when I realized it wasn't her, I was like, I still like it, but they got me. They got me.
Oh, I know it. I learned that Abby, and I was like, she's wearing the mask thing, and she's like, really? And then the whole thing
Really?
happens.
I
Yeah.
did
I
not
didn't
see that
call it
coming.
at all
No.
either.
I saw that coming. What movie was that they did that in?
You know what happened?
Civil War? Civil War? No.
They looked down and showed
Yes.
Scarlett
Yes, Civil
Johansson
War.
on the ground, and Ryan was like, that's not her
ass.
booty.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
That's not it.
Oh boy. I wouldn't clap them cheeks.
Those cheeks don't match.
Oh, Rachel Weisz can still get it.
Of course you.
I wasn't going to let you handle that. But yeah, that was an excellent, excellent movie, and General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross makes an appearance,
Oh, I wonder why.
and I want to see him get so much more heavily involved.
And bigger and redder.
And bigger and redder and meaner and more mustachy.
That's gonna happen.
We're getting the Thunderbolts.
It's gonna
Yes.
happen.
like that's
That's one of those secret projects. You've already got U.S. Agent. You've got Yelena, who is going to be the new Black Widow. You're going to have Ross. And that, I think, maybe the Thunderbolts might get introduced in the Hawkeye series.
yeah.
Which,
Hey.
by the way, that was the final, was Hawkeye.
We got Abomination too.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Emil Blonsky is still out there somewhere.
Are we going to get like a fake Iron Man as well to go with our fake Captain America?
Who
or
is
fake Black
who
Widow?
rounds out the Thunderbolts? Isn't it Quake?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a comic accurate version of the Thunderbolts. I think it's going to be the evil Avengers. That's really what's going to be. It's going to be opposite Captain America, opposite Black Widow, opposite Hulk, opposite Hawkeye, and opposite Iron Man.
There's so much stuff that's about to happen, and we're going to touch on all of it next week, too, when we talk about the Loki series.
That's going to... More doors will be open.
Yes. So I don't know. I think you should definitely go and watch Black Widow if you haven't. If you're here and you've heard the spoilers and you're like me, I hear spoilers and I get excited and I need to go see this thing. I'm glad you're still here, but we freaking love this movie. I know Megan and I did.
I did. I enjoyed it.
I give it 9.75 pews out of pews.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pews out of pews.
I give it
10
8.5 or so.
Oh, 8.5.
Yeah.
8.5 is huge for you.
Yeah, that's big.
Don't get me wrong, I
Realistically,
liked it.
I
I was
think-
just a little disappointed there wasn't more Taskmaster.
I don't give quarter points, but I give it a 9.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think 9 is about right.
In MCU solo
It's not
standards. In MCU solar standards, I'm not putting this up against Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I'm not putting this up against any of the
You're putting it up
Avenger
against
movies.
The standard
I will watch this
standalones.
probably 3 times.
Yeah.
Now that I have it on Disney Plus at home, and I will probably... I have no want to go watch like Captain Marvel again.
Oh, wow.
I just don't.
I liked Captain Marvel. We
I
watched
thought
it again.
Captain
the other day.
Marvel was okay.
I think this was a better female warrior movie.
Oh, for
personally.
sure.
Should have been flipped, man.
Yeah.
Should have been flipped.
They should have killed Captain Marvel, you mean?
They did,
Oh, yeah, that too.
they did show that Black Widow was an Avenger. She wasn't just some person. She was
Yes.
an
She
Avenger.
She doesn't even have powers.
Yeah.
Shut up, people.
Although
Here's your proof.
here's I felt like quote of the movie was like, I don't think the space god needs an ibuprofen after the fight.
Yes.
That was one of my things that I was kind of hoping to see a cameo from either Steve Rogers or somebody.
Yeah.
But at the end, when she's like, I got to go break some people out of jail, I was like, oh, okay.
I'm glad they didn't because it just gave the focus to her. Let her have it.
That's why we didn't see anybody like that. Is because they wanted it to be her
I
movie.
thought we were going to get Steve Rogers reading Red Guardian going, who are you again?
Yeah, that would have been
Exactly. That's what I thought was going to happen. Like, that would have been funny as hell.
I never fought you.
Speaking of which, David Harbour said he's got 2 pitches to Marvel for Red Guardian solo movies.
That would be amazing.
He wants to do a previous Red Guardian movie when he's younger and in good shape, and he's actually doing Red Guardian shit. And he also wants to do one where he's going after Hawkeye 2 for killing Natasha.
He's just trying to take Pew's movie.
Every
TV
character
show.
that recently has been in a Marvel property is like, I've got a solo movie idea.
I got a pitch for you.
And Marvel-
they don't say it to them. They say it online, so
Right.
everybody else says it for them.
So everybody goes, hey, you heard what they said? And Feige's like, listen, you don't get to make the demands.
It's not on the whiteboard.
And I got a question. The very end, how the hell did Natasha get out of that? When they were all coming in and circling her? How did she get out of that?
Out of what?
Oh, the
Ross
red
coming?
mist
Ross
grenade.
coming.
Ross coming. Like, everybody else took off. Abby asked me this, and I'm like, I don't know. I was like, she's Black Widow. Maybe she's some Black Widow shit.
Clearly, she's a sprinter.
Cartwheels. It was definitely cartwheels.
They didn't want to see the last 8 minutes of that movie of her sprinting through long grass.
We're about to run out of song here, boys. Black Widow was great. Go watch it right now.
Right now.
Immediately. Although I hope you didn't listen to all those spoilers. And then here.
What are you doing?